Welcome back, folks. Mr. Moose here, and we're going to be doing another episode of my Total Extreme Wrestling 9 series, Local to Global Challenge, with After Dark Wrestling. And if you're new here and not familiar with anything, we are taking a created company from scratch, zero momentum, zero money, etc., etc., and we're going to topple the world. Or at least we think we are anyway. We've got a long way to go, though. Now, this is episode number 20, if I'm not mistaken, and we've got a lot to cover today. This is going to be a bit of a backstagey kind of episode. I know I do these ones every now and again, like a roster review, go shopping for some new signings, stuff like that. But we've got a lot to digest and a lot to cover, so we'll jump right in. So let's start with the top 100s. So the King of Steel Night 6 that we have just done was our best ever event. And if you wanted to have a look at the card to refresh yourselves, this is what happened. Main points is we had a Nia Jax debut, a Blood Axe debut, or Braun Strowman debut. Astrid won the Supreme Championship title. Satu Jin and Reed Bentley won the tag team titles. And Nate Webb won the King of Steel. So let's talk a bit about that then. So let's have a look at the titles. So, yeah, Nate Webb winning the King of Steel, and the prestige on this has jumped up to 56. Let's just have a quick look at that prestige. Yeah, that's jumped massively. Look at that. That jumped 8. That is what we want to see. Yeah, so Nate Webb is now the King of Steel. I think that's a good move for Nate. He's not getting any younger, and I don't know if he will ever challenge for the Supreme Championship title. I mean, he might do. He's not quite charismatic enough, in my opinion, but for King of Steel, yeah, he can definitely do that. He's tough as old boots. He's 48 years old. He's getting on a bit in his career. He's no sign of declining yet, but if Nate Webb had to leave tomorrow, I would be happy because he's actually won something. He's been a good servant for us, and yeah, I think that was well deserved for his performances over the last 4 years. So don't think we can have any complaints about Nate Webb winning there. MV Young wasn't too pleased, but never mind. Nate Webb deserves his moment in the spotlight. Let's look at the Supreme Championship title, because that is now in the hands of Astrid. And we might be thinking, why the hell does Astrid have the title? And the short answer to this is it's her time. If you think at the position we are at now, Jeff Hardy had the title. He's very much on the decline. We saw his performances are lagging behind a bit. You know, the likes of MV Young, Nick Gage, Akira. So he's not at the top anymore. He's a 51-year-old man. But this is the time for Astrid to have it, because as we progress through the game, we're going to get better wrestlers who are a lot better than her, a lot more charismatic than her. And this is just the perfect time for her to have it. So we'll give her a little run. She's not going to go crazy and have like a year-long run. At least I don't think so. But this is time for her to just maybe be a bit of a transitional champion while we give it to someone else, perhaps. But we've teamed her up with Blood Axe or Braun Strowman. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep an open mind. But yeah, this is the perfect time for her to have it now, because we're going to outgrow her, essentially. We're very much going to outgrow her as we go forward. Tag Team Championships are picked up by Satu Jin and Reed Bentley. And yeah, Sandra Moon and Mr. Danger had a good run. They had 3 defences. But yeah, I like Satu Jin. He is one of the core members of the roster, in my opinion. And yeah, he deserves something because he's been putting in some good performances. He's lost a bit of the main event spotlight lately with the likes of MB Young coming to the top, and you know, Hoodfoot's been around there, Akira, and yeah, he deserves something. He's a good worker, and Reed Bentley is just a tag team partner with excellent chemistry. So that's the thought process behind that. Let's look at the defences for Sandra Moon and Mr. Danger. So they defeated Project Mayhem to win the titles. That was on Brutality Tour Night 2. And then they defeated Mass Slaughter, Project Mayhem, Akam and Rizar, and unfortunately lost the match to Jin and Bentley. And we'll do the same for Jeff Hardy. Let's have a look at his reign. So he made 5 defences. So he won it against MV Young in a tables match back in Brutality Tour Night 1. And defended it against Reed Bentley, Satu Jin, and then Satu Jin again. That's where we had the weird draw booking thing. And then Jeff Hardy defeated Akira in a Hate in a Cell match. That was a bit of an underwhelming match, actually. And then he drew with Janai Kai. I don't know if that counts as a defence. And then, yeah, lost the title to Astrid at night 6 of the tour. So that is the title situation. We are going to have a look at the roster in a minute, but we're just going to look at some news. So Akira and Nick Gage are fully fit, so let's delete them. Casanova Valentine's gone. Yeah, a bit of a heavy heart, this one. I like Casanova Valentine, but he is on the decline, and we're not really using him. And I think we can get on to bigger and better things. So, yeah, Casanova Valentine has gone. We got 12,500 viewers watch The King of Steel, which is excellent. Akira got injured. Nia Jax and KTB have started dating, so good for them. KTB going for a bit of an older woman there. Yeah, she's 45, so yeah, well, good for him, I guess, if that's what he's into. Nick Gage got injured, we've seen that one. Orin Vate's contract is ending, so is KTB's, and I think this is all stuff we've seen before, so good stuff. So yeah, let's just go and quickly renew their contracts before I forget. So Orin Vate, he's becoming a very, very good worker. He wants $500. I mean, I don't blame him, to be honest. Let's see if we can knock him down just a little bit there. He wants 460. You want a bit more merchandise. Bit more, 20%? Yeah, okay. And we'll do KTB as well, because they're in a tag team. They are, yeah, good, solid workers. KTB is much cheaper, so let's see if we can just get him on that. Yeah, perfect. Right, so we've renewed them. John Schuyler, Frightmare, Brian Idle are all going to be out the company. They were temporary workers. Anyway, let's have a look. What else should we look at? Let's look at the booking team. I don't think anything has changed here. It's still the same 5. Book and Yoshida have good chemistry. Brand split, we're not doing. Let's look at the creative screen. So, our franchise players, Braun Strowman or Blood Axe, basically just go straight to number 1. And I don't think anyone can have any arguments there. He is 45, so he's getting on a bit, but I still think you can't really argue with that. Tatum Paxley second. Now, we'll talk about Tatum Paxley a bit more in a minute, but she's very good star presence and impressive charisma, so she's number 2. Jeff Hardy 3, Nia Jax jumps into 4, and MV Young hanging on to 5th spot there. Let's look at the next big things. No one. Hot prospects. Veronica Poundstone, Heather Reckless, Minnie White, and Satoko Yoshida. Talk the talk. MV Young, Braun Strowman or Blood Axe, Jim Ross, Mick Foley, and Jeff Hardy. Apparently he's good on the mic as well. In terms of showstoppers, Akira, Paxley, Jimmy Jacobs, Colby Carino, and John Schuyler. Ring generals, Akira, Colby, Mr. Danger, Pat Buck, and Orin Vate. Who's hot? Nate Webb, number 1. Astrid, number 2. Nick Gage 3. MV Young 4. And Sassy Jane 5. Sort of our core roster, if you like. Who's not hot? Alex Colon and Kennedy Copeland. Yeah, they got the short straw, didn't they, in the King of Steel tournament. So we'll look at trying to build some momentum for them. And hidden gems. Do we have anyone new here? Atticus Cougar's new. 32-year-old. Let's have a look at him. He's a mercenary, which isn't great. 81 hardcore is very, very good, though. Good performance skills. Got some booking skill as well. He is someone to consider. What's a mercenary? How bad is that? What does it say? Only interested in their own career and making as much money as possible. Mildly negative impact on the backstage. So he could bum people out for a bit like an Austin Whitehead kind of guy, but there's no major effects. I mean, he could be someone to pick up. Let's put him on the shortlist. Have a think about him, and we'll have a big look at the roster in a minute. We'll just go through some of these bits and bobs. Inner Circle. So we've got James Maritato, Rhino, Mick Foley, Hoodfoot, and we've got space for someone else. So who else would like to join? Jeff Hardy's probably not the best. We could put Kane in there, but I'm not sure what Kane's future is in the company. I mean, I do know that Pat Buck's going to be around for probably a very long time. So let's give it to Pat Buck. Any enforcers? No, no chief enforcers. And I'm not doing a stooge at the minute. I mean, would anyone actually be a stooge? Let's have a look. No one would be a stooge anyway. Travel organizer, we've done that before, don't really see the point of it. Same for morale officer, so we'll just leave that blank for now. Stables, have we looked at stables? So we've got the Awesome Club with the awesome logo, MV Young the leader, and the four horsemen who are the Akira, Satsujin, Reed Bentley and Maven Bentley Quadhead. Is that what you say with that? I'm not sure. Product hasn't changed. We are still running the Extreme Adult Filth product, and nothing has changed on that front. We don't have a figurehead. Storylines, I think, have all been concluded. Oh, we still got the secrets thing going on, so we'll come on to that in a bit. As far as teams go, we've now only got 4 teams. So we've got Gore and Pound, Jin and Bentley, Moon and Danger, and Project Mayhem. So we could do with getting some more tag teams in and sort of refresh that division a little bit. Commentary, let's take Mick Foley off the commentary now. He came in for the season finale. So where is Nom? There we are. Right. Events. So we're going to jump into the Voltage Tour again. Now, I've been doing a bit of thinking this, and I've been in touch with the Grey Dog forums and Reddit and things, because apparently we are running a penalty at the minute for saturation or oversaturation. And what that essentially means is we're receiving an attendance penalty every time we have more than one event, normal event in a month period, I beg your pardon, we are incurring a penalty. But I'm not really seeing it, to be honest. So I'm going to just keep things as they are. I might do a bit of experimentation on the Voltage Tour and maybe up this to like 8 nights, 9 nights, just to kind of see what that attendance drop would look like. Because at the minute, we're still making bank. So I don't see the problem with a reduced attendance. The popularity is still climbing in a good way, so I'm going to have a bit of a think about that. I don't know if we'll get to any events today. We'll have a think about it. Show history. We've seen the top hundreds already. Looked at the events. But yeah, we're gonna follow this same pattern at least for another year, and then when we get to the end of year 5, maybe we'll have a think about where to go with it. But yeah, it's fine for now. In terms of the backstage, so backstage rules are having a negative effect. Jeff Hardy has a mildly negative influence, so is John Schuyler and Nia Jax, so we'll have to have a look at those in a minute and see what that's about. But Nia Jax is dating KTB, Orinvate is dating Satoko Yoshida, and we've got lots of good friendships, lots of good successes, so backstage morale is excellent. Don't have any child companies. We'll have a quick look at the contract overview screen. So in terms of who is getting paid the most, we've got Nia Jax, followed by Braun Strowman and Jeff Hardy, the 3 old campers. Colby Carino coming next with Tatum Paxley. So I'll leave that on the screen for a few minutes, and you can sort of have a look at your own leisure, pause the video and whatnot. I'll just scroll it down slowly. There you go. Right. So yeah, feel free to look at that at your own leisure. Developmental we don't have. Finance we don't. Well, we can look at finances properly. So yeah, we're on 81k. So we're making money. But money is not an issue anymore. Still trying to save up for some TV deals or production upgrades or something like that. So house shows, investments, Hall of Fame, merchandise. So we're in the process of a merchandise upgrade. We're on 18%, so that's ongoing. Production. So we have no reds anymore. I'm going to see how this plays out over the next month. If we do need to drop anything down, I think the broadcast quality would be the big one there. It'll only cost us £500, so it's not too expensive should we need to do it. And we would save quite a bit of money, but we'll leave it as it is for now. See how it goes. Let's look at the size. So we are 40 in the tri-state. To get to medium, we need 59 in the tri-state and either 35 in Mid-Atlantic or New England. So we'll have to focus on that going forward a little bit. Ticket prices, we get another ticket price jump in one more popularity growth. So that's something that would be good to see. Don't have any training facilities. Let's have a look at the regional battles. Wait, this isn't the right screen, is it? But we're 55 overall, so we're getting towards the top end of this screen. But I think it's on the other screen I wanted to really look at. We don't have any of this stuff going on. So let's just quickly look at the company wars. So this is where we are in the world. Still not quite on the front page yet. Where are we? 38. So we've not moved much just yet, but if we look at the USA, yeah, we're still not on the front page yet. But good things are coming. We're nearly on the front page. So we are improving. And let's look at the battles. That's what I wanted to look at. So regional battles. Oh, there is no regional battle. We must have been on our own, I guess. Okay. WWE and AEW are slugging it out in the USA. We will join them at some point. Okay. So that's most of the backstage things covered. If there's anything else you'd like to see, just drop a comment down below and I'll look at it for you. But I think that covers most of everything we need to see there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a look at our roster. So I'm going to do this in a little bit of a different way this time. So we'll look at anyone with popularity over 50. And we'll just have a look at them, see what their role might be going forward. So Adam Scherr, Braun Strowman, Blood Axe, he is a new pickup. He's got a Viking gimmick. And yeah, I wanted to bring in Braun Strowman. He's a big boy, 6'8", 385 pounds. Very, very good heel. So he's going to team up with Astrid for a little bit. And we'll just see what they do. He's sort of going to be like a little bit of an enforcer for her, just so we can give her a little bit of justification for retaining the title a couple of times. Yeah, he's still quite popular. He is a bit on the decline, is he? No, he's doing all right. He's doing all right. In terms of physicals and whatnot, so he's got 51 hardcore, which is okay. Good brawler. Decent psychology, good experience. Apparently he's good at the microphone. So 69, yeah, he's alright. Fundamentals. Not much of a seller, but he is a giant in grand scheme of things. So, yeah, he is on the decline. So, I mean, he's going to be with us like a year at the most, maybe 2 years, something like that. But yeah, I thought, bring him in. He kind of fits the whole Viking thing with Astrid. So, yeah, that's Braun Strowman. Colby Carino is above 50. Now, I didn't realise this because we've not seen much of Colby because the problem with Colby is he's working for 2 other companies as well as us. So we're sort of like last on the pick list, but he's a good worker and we haven't seen much of Colby Carino, but I am going to feature him a bit more, maybe towards the second half of the next year. But yeah, he's a good worker and he's not really had a fair run with us yet. So we'll make sure we give him a fair crack of the whip at some point. But he's not in the immediate plan, but he is very much in the plan long term. Jim Ross, our dependable commentator. Yeah, good all round. Let's look at his commentary skills. Yeah, he's still going strong. His colour commentary is improving as well, actually. So, yeah, pretty happy with him. Kane, yeah, don't really know what to do with Kane. He's not really anything other than a personality. He's featured in the whole Astrid storyline, so we'll probably just let his contract expire. I have asked him to come back to work, but he doesn't want to, so we'll just probably let his contract expire and send him on his way at the end of next month. So that's that. Mick Foley, the GM, could do with a bit of a better gimmick, but yeah, going to keep him in doing the angles and stuff because yeah, he's much better than Mr. Moose. So Mick Foley's going to continue to be the GM character. I mean, we could do a Kane Mick Foley rivalry, I guess, for the general manager, but I'm just not quite sure how to bring Kane back because he's been burnt in a fire, hasn't he? So, I mean, how do you bring him back from that? I'll have a bit of a think of it. Maybe we could do that. Nia Jax. So, Nia Jax I've brought in. She's not much of a hardcore wrestler at all. She's pretty banged up, but she can brawl. She can brawl. And I've been thinking a bit about her. I might team her up with someone like Yoshida. And the reason I'm thinking of that is because she's got 100 experience. And I think Yoshida could learn a lot from someone like Nia Jax and really help her development. We'll look at Veronica Poundstone, but since we've turned her into a tag team with Rhino, she has come on leaps and bounds. And we'll have a look at her later. So I'm thinking we do something similar with Nia Jax. Again, she's not a long-term signing, but in the short term, I think she can do a good job for us. So we'll go down to the next level of people. So let's look in that sort of next bracket. So we've got Astrid, and we spoke about Astrid. She's now the Supreme Championship title. We'll give her a little bit of a run. She's got good performance skills. A hardcore skill has improved quite somewhat, actually. I mean, she's improving 3 at a time. Her brawling's not going up. But she is improving as a wrestler. So we'll see how she does. Decent psychology still. But yeah, mostly just a bit of a transitional champion, if I'm completely honest. I mean, she's still got good performance skills, so we can definitely make use of her. Not on the decline. Jeff Hardy. Now, not really sure what to do with Jeff now. He's pretty banged up. He's had his day with the company. That whole sort of like romantic era of Jeff Hardy coming back and being the champion has kind of passed now. He's 51. I think we might just let his contract expire, to be honest. And I mean, he's got a couple of months. We could potentially put him in the tag division. He's got a tag team specialist. Not quite sure who we'd team him up with at the minute, though. Mr. Danger, yeah, he's very much in the plan going forward. He's 26. He's got a lot of upside. Not the best when it comes to performance skills, but as a worker, he's very, very good. Very reliable. So maybe we'll bring him into some feuds shortly. MV Young, yeah, the star guy in my opinion still. And he's far too good to be left out of the main event scene for very much longer. But there is one more thing I want to do with MV Young first before we sort of send him back down the Supreme title belt path. 47 popularity, so yeah. Got one more thing in mind for him, and then we'll push him back on the Supreme Championship path, I think. Nate Webb, Mr. King of Steel, and yeah, really pleased that he's got the King of Steel title. He's been a good worker for us. There's no signs of him slowing down just yet. He's got declining physical ability, but in terms of like stamina and whatnot, and power and primary skills, he's still very, very good, and we could get another couple of years out of him, I think. Psychology's still going up, so he's fine. Nick Gage. Very, very good worker, Nick Gage, but again, his stamina's getting near to that 50. So, I was saying earlier that Colby Carino is going to be featured in the latter half of the year. Nick Gage is still going to be our #1 face for the first half of the year, I think. And my reasoning behind that is just got to use him while we've got him. And as soon as he drops below 50 stamina, he's going to start struggling a bit. Maybe we could drop him into the tag division later on, but he's still our #1 face for the minute. But I do expect to see that transition between him and Colby as the series goes on. And yeah, Satu Jin. Again, like Satu Jin, one of my favourites. Not very good at selling, but he's a bit of a psychopath. And yeah, again, he's a bit like an MV Young. I think he's too good to be left out of the main event scene for too much longer. But we'll give him a run as the tag title. So that's where he is. But yeah, expect to see him feature quite heavily in the next couple of years. So let's go down to the next bracket. So we've got Akira. I've renewed Akira's contract despite the fact he's mostly based in Japan. And we'll just kind of use him when we've got him. So we won't involve him in too much of the storylines or anything like that. But he's a good worker. He can do some death matches. So we'll use him when we get the opportunity to do so. Hoodfoot, he's sort of like that third face. Like that. He's not quite there at the top. But he certainly is in a good place going forward. And at 34, he's still got quite a bit of upside. He's decent in the ring. He's decent in terms of like his performance skills. He's a locker room leader. I think he could have a good future. Will he ever make it to the top? I don't know. Perhaps, but he's not far off that main event scene. He's just probably in that second bracket. Like I say, that third heel, that third face in the company. Kenzie Page, she's done good things alongside MV Young, and yeah, I think maybe putting her and MV Young in the tag team, maybe let them have a go at the tag division's the way forward for a bit. She's got a lot of upside, good charisma, good microphone. Not the best in the ring, but she's decent, and I can certainly see her staying with the company for a little while. Orin Vate, he's turned into a very, very good worker. He's sort of in like that kind of Nate Webb bracket. I don't know whether he will ever challenge for the main title, but he's a very good worker. and certainly someone I would like to keep around for a long time. Reed Bentley, he is Jin's partner, tag team partner, and he will probably stay in that stable. If anything, he's kind of like not the jobber, but the one in there to protect everyone else. But he's a good worker in his own right. He's not quite as good as hardcore as Akira or Satu Jin, but yeah, good worker nevertheless, and he's got good chemistry with Jin. Sandra Moon, yeah, she's done okay. She's a bit behind Mr. Danger. I might split her and Mr. Danger up for a little bit, not as a permanent basis, but maybe we can shove Mr. Danger in a bit more singles action, and she can come down the card a bit. I mean, maybe a feud with Janai Kai, like we see here, could be on the cards. Shotzi, she's a decent worker. She's got 40 hardcore, and she is improving. But will she ever be at the top of the card? I'm not sure. Not 100% sure. I just don't think she's quite good enough. But then again, neither's Astrid, and she's there. So what do I know? We could see Shotzi go into the title picture. Maybe at some point. I'd like to see a bit of improvement around here first, though. And she has improved a little bit, so we'll see. We'll keep an eye on her progress. She is 37, so she should be coming into a peak about now. Tatum Paxley. Now, for a long, long time, I had Tatum Paxley down to win the King of Steel. And yes, she's a woman. We'd have to probably call her the Queen of Steel. And for a very, very long time, I wanted her to win. And I very nearly did. But at the last minute, I just chose Nate Webb. Her performances aren't quite as good as some of the others. And I'm guessing that's because she's on 47 hardcore rather than 50 or 60 or 70. But we'll see how she goes. She is improving, and I do certainly think at the age of 32 could stay with us for a long time and do very well. So we'll keep an eye on her progress. Then we'll drop down to like the mid-carders, the lower mid-carders. So we've got Alex Colon. I've renewed his contract. Good worker. He is a bit on the decline, but there are a lot of people who could take advantage of that 75 hardcore to improve them. So we'll keep him around. Maybe we can find him something to do in the tag division. Seems a bit of a shame to just be a jobber, but I don't have a big plan for him outside of that. So we'll see how he gets on. Janai Kai has been our resident wild brawler, and she probably will carry on doing that. Maybe splitting her and Nia Jax occasionally to do the wild brawl stuff, but she's a good worker. Yeah, she ticks a box, to be honest. That's about it. KTB, Orinvate's tag team partner. Not quite as good as Orinvate, but he's a dependable worker nevertheless. Good to have around. Rhino. Rhino's just about hanging on. Let's look at his stamina. Yeah, I mean, he's dropping quite fast now, isn't he? I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be around, to be honest, but while we've got him, we'll keep him with Veronica. And then, well, speaking of Veronica, I think she should be in the next bracket of popular people. Yeah, so we'll start with her. So look at how she's come on since she's been teamed up with Rhino. So her hardcore's gone up 2. Puro's gone up. Brawling's gone up. Technical's gone up. Everything's going up. She's getting better. But what I like the most is the experience gain. So she's really starting to tick on that experience now. I can't remember when we exactly teamed her up with Rhino, but this has brought her on leaps and bounds, I think. So want to do something similar with the other young starlets of the future. Yeah, she's getting quite good. 100 consistency as well. Very, very good. She's got a big future in the company, I think. So, back to the top. So Carmella is just here for eye candy matches, to be honest. Same with Heather Reckless. Now, I've been thinking about what to do with Heather Reckless, and I can't think of anything to do with her, so I might just get rid of her. She was brought in to do eye candy matches, to be honest. And maybe that's where she'll stay. Maybe we'll get rid of her. No real affinity to keep her around, to be honest. James Maritato's our ref, and he's got 82 refereeing, which is very good. Kennedy Copeland, yeah, she's alright. She's probably a bit more of a jobber at this point, but she can do a bit of hardcore. She's a deathmatch wrestler, so there's no real problem in just keeping her on the books for a bit. Mandy Leon, more of a manager, to be honest. She has good chemistry with Kenzie Page, and that's the only real reason she's here. Good sex appeal, good for the eye candy matches. Pat Buck, Yeah, he's just a road agent. Occasional wrestler, booker. Nothing more to add than that. Tim Donst is another funny one. Now, we've had Tim since day one, but I'm struggling to find things to do with him, so he could also be finding himself out of a job soon, I think. He's got really good microphone skills, so it would be a shame not to use him, you know, on the mic somewhere, but I just don't see how he fits in anymore. He's a good worker, but I just don't see where he fits in anymore, sadly. So we'll have a think about him. And we looked at Veronica Poundstone. Right, now we'll just look at everyone who's 0 to 29. I don't think there will be that many of these. Brian Idle, jobber out the company. Shan Yotta is an eye candy worker. Frightmare is a jobber, soon to be leaving. Jimmy Jacobs is our road agent, and he's going to manage Nate Webb for a bit to give Nate Webb a bit more of a fighting chance in the angles and things like that. So we'll have him be his mouthpiece. He's actually got this Agent of Chaos, Agent of Stories, so he's a good road agent to have around on the books. And there was something else I was looking at him that I thought was quite impressive, but I can't remember what it is now. No, can't remember. There was something I was looking at that I thought was really good for him, but yeah, it's gone. I mean, it could have been that 67 hardcore. There's an argument to say he should still be wrestling with 67 hardcore, 65 brawling as well. He can actually do quite a good job. John Schuyler, same thing, he's out the door. Maven Bentley, yeah, Satu's mouthpiece, and that's pretty much the only reason he's around, because he's got good chemistry with Satu, bit of booking skill, but in the meetings he generally has arguments with people, so we'll see. Minnie White, she's doing okay, she's coming along, and she's getting there. I'm wondering if when Nick Gage is no longer ready for the top of the card, whether we team her up with Minnie White and pass some of that experience on. But yeah, I like this 50 brawling. She can do eye candy matches as well. She's quite versatile. There's nothing really wrong with her. That's me. Not really much to see there. Good business reputation. Yoshida is still a young lion, mostly a booker, but she can do pretty well in matches with this 76 aerial, 71 flashiness, so probably no reason to get rid of her. She's good at booking, if anything else. And the Blue Meanie is our final person to look at, our colour commentator. Yeah, he's improving. He's improving on the colour commentary as well, so yeah, look at that. He's getting better, so there's no reason we can't just keep him doing that for a while. So that's the roster. That is a not quite as in-depth as last time, I don't think, but we have more workers now, so what we need to think about next is where we're going forward. So one of my initial thoughts is we need to rebuild the tag team division a bit. We need to get a few more faces in there. So, I mean, we've got a face, heel. I don't realistically think they can challenge for the title. Moon and Mr. Danger can, but we're going to split them up a little bit, I think. On a short-term basis, anyway. Project Mayhem very much can stay in the tag division, and Jim and Bentley are the title holders. So we need to do a bit of work on the tag team division, I think. So let's make a start there. Yeah. Now, who do we want to pick up for the tag division? Now, I know exactly who I want to pick up. In fact, let's go to the shortlist. Let me show you who's on the shortlist. I've not shown you this since the start of the game. So, Adam Scher we've now picked up. Alpha Wolf, he is a very good worker, and I think I'm going to pick him up. And him and Dragon Bane can go into the tag division. He's more of a luchador than a hardcore wrestler, but he can brawl, and I want to see if we can bump up this hardcore skill a little bit. So we'll pick him up and his brother. So let's start there. Let's bring him in on a temporary contract. Let's just give him a year. See how he does. Can we knock him down a little bit? Maybe like 750. Need travel. 1830. Okay. What do you want? Merchandise 15%? Might do. 20%? Agreed. 25%? Alright. So we're going to pick up Alpha Wolf. and his brother as well. So where's Dragon Bane? Let's see if we can pluck him out from this worker list. So Bane, Dragon Bane, there we are. That's his tag team partner, isn't it? Yeah, 100% experience. Let's pick him up as well, and they can go into the tag division. And Dragon Bane's going to need a bit of a push, to be honest. He's not as good as his brother. So let's just see if we can get him there. Yeah. Much cheaper than his brother. So that's all fine. Who else is on the shortlist? So Anchum. Now, I was looking, she was a good deathmatch wrestler. She's based in Japan. I don't think actually she's going to be what we're after with 48 Hardcore. I might take her off. Yeah, let's take her off. Atticus Cougar, I've just put him on the shortlist. Austin Theory is available. Now, Austin Theory, I've heard that he should have been like the next big thing in WWE, but it's not really worked out for him for some reason. I've put him on the shortlist, but at 40 Hardcore, I don't really think he's what we're after. I expected his performance skills to be a bit better than that as well. I'm going to leave him there for now, but I'm not so sure if he's a pickup. I mean, how much would he cost? Yeah, it's quite expensive. Billy Starks. Now, she's a bit banged up, but she's got 66 Hardcore, good charisma. She could be very good for us. She's a comedy match worker. She doesn't have deathmatch, unfortunately. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's on an exclusive written contract. Brother Greatness, I've kept him there because I really like his microphone skills. I'm going to get him in when I need him. I don't really have a place for him right now. Charlie Evans is an interesting one. Now, I like the look of Charlie Evans. She's got 69 Hardcore, good charisma, good sex appeal, good fundamentals and physicals, and she's a deathmatch specialist and a tag team specialist. So she could be very, very good. The only problem is she's based in Oceania, so that could be an issue, and she works for a lot of other people as well, but she's very much of interest to me, very, very much. Drew Parker as well, 83 Hardcore. Would love to get him in, but he's on an exclusive written contract. Hansen. So this is Eric and Ivar. So we've got Ivar down there. No, that's Eric. That's Ivar. And I'm going to bring these two in. Now, they're a bit old. See, the thing is now, I wanted to bring these two in as faces, because one of the things I'm struggling with is faces. I've got lots and lots of heels, but because of sort of the hardcore theme, there's a lot more heels around than faces. So I wanted to bring these in as faces, but we've got Blood Axe in now, or Braun Strowman taking up a Viking role with Astrid. And would it make more sense to get them two in as heels and make a faction out of it? It probably would, but I want to bring them in as faces. And would it be a bit strange having a face and a heel team as Vikings? You know, we've got like Viking faces. I don't know. Is that a bit too much? Possibly. I mean, perhaps we could do some sort of like bloodline feud. But is it a bloodline? Have like a clan v clan thing maybe? I think that could work. Maybe build it up for like the season finale or something and have like a Viking line. I don't know what you call it. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we can do with that. So let's bring them in. I think 2 years is probably going to be enough. He's probably going to want travel. Let's see if we can knock him down a bit. Probably want a bit more merchandise. He wants 1050. Wants a bit more merchandise. 20%? 25%? Alright. So Hansen we're going to bring in, and while we're there, we're bringing Raymond Rowe, and they can be a tag team. Let's see if we can, again, knock him down a little bit. Let's go try 800. Probably want travel, let's say 20%, 870. 25%? Alright, so we've got Eric and Ivar in. Now, those two really struggled to get over in the WWE, and I've got my own opinions on the WWE. I'm not going to share them on this video. If you are really interested, then maybe another time. But they couldn't get over in the WWE. That Viking thing just doesn't work. It's like 20 years ago. That heavy metal wrestling attitude era, people having rock stuff. It was like 20 years ago. They don't really fit into modern day WWE, which is more about like doing extreme stuff, as in like high spots and stuff. But we won't go too deep into that. But for our company, they could do a good job, I think. And they're still good brawlers, decent hardcore. Yeah, a couple of years out of them, that would be good. Herzog. Now again, I think he's one half of the Viking War Party along Warhorse, so he's another heel and a deathmatch wrestler, so we could look at getting him in. Again, he's a bit old with 40. What's his popularity? I mean, we'd have to build him up. We really would have to build him up, but thinking about it now, if we're doing some sort of Viking versus Viking storyline at some point, I mean, we'd have Eric and Ivar versus Astrid and Bloodaxe, so we'd probably need to flesh that out a little bit. He could come in on the heel side because he's more of a heel. I don't think we need to jump on that right now. Hikari Noah, again, she's a deathmatch wrestler and a face. Now, we are struggling for faces. She has got good hardcore and good performance skills, so she is an option. She's still got a bit of time. She's only 31, but we'll keep an eye on her and we'll monitor her. Josh Briggs is unemployed. Now, I don't know Josh Briggs, if I'm honest, but I know he's 6'8" and would be a natural challenger for Braun Strowman, like two big blokes going at it, like a big giant versus giant thing. He's not got great hardcore, but he can brawl, so he could be an option to bring in. And I think I'm going to put him on a tour contract. I want to see how he does. So we'll see if we can knock him down a bit. Give him a touring contract. He can come into the touring schedule. And we'll just give him a bit of a run. Alright, 550. 15% merch. He wants 690. Alright. I do like a good bit of haggling, I must admit. Why pay full price when you can knock him down a bit? Juicy for now has been left on the shortlist. And I do like Juicy for now. He's got a good height and he's a big boy, 449 pounder. Bit like a Viscera or a Big Daddy V or whatever he was called. And he probably wouldn't ever get to the top of the card, but he's a protege of Jacob Fatu. And if we can ever get hold of Jacob Fatu, he would be great to bring in. He could come in as a tag team. We had him with Zilia Fatu last time. But he can also pair up with Toa Leona, who is on the shortlist as well. So we'll have a think about that, but no immediate rush. And this guy, Luchasaurus, a 44-year-old guy, and I appreciate there's a lot of old guys on here, but just look at this guy. 60 hardcore, good star quality, good menace, and he's got some good performances here. And he can play a face. So I think I'm going to give him a touring contract as well and just see how he does. See how he does over the next 6 months. We'll try and get him in some matches. Yeah, but I've messed up here, haven't I? He's going to say you offered me 700 before. We want 600. Okay. Give me 20% merch. Alright, we'll try him out. He's 6'5" as well, so he's a big boy. And, maybe a good face addition. Mickie James is retiring. We'll just get rid of her. This guy, Medio Extremo. Now, this guy looks very, very good. He's got 99 basics. Needs a bit of work on the selling, but he's very, very good for the fundamental and physicals. And his hardcore is 79, 71 flashiness, decent charisma, and he's got quite low popularity. But I think this guy could have a very, very big future in our company. I really do. And I'm going to put my house on it because he's a daredevil, deathmatch specialist, deathmatch wrestler, tag team specialist. He could be very, very good. And I'm willing to actually offer him an exclusive contract because I think he could be very, very good. So let's give him 2 years. If he's on an exclusive contract, we don't have to pay his travel, I don't think. let's just start there. Yeah. So I'm actually willing to put an exclusive contract down on this guy because I think he could be the future of the company. I really do. I really, really do. Looking at that, he's kind of everything I wanted Akira to be, but he's not banged up. I think he could do great. Nia Jax is, we spoke about, and she's now with us. The Big Show, Paul White. Now, 57-year-old, but he was one of my favourite wrestlers growing up, and I'm just going to give him a touring contract just to say we've had the Big Show in. No other reason than that, to be honest. Maybe we'll try and get a match or two out of him. Just to say we've had him. So let's just see. Oh, goodness gracious. You want the shirt off my back? Right, there you go. So he's just going to come in and, I don't know, just be the Big Show, basically. Raymond Rowe we spoke about. Red Velvet. She has left AEW, and she's okay. There isn't anything particular wrong with her. But she's just a bit boring. Like, there's nothing really going on there, so for now I'm going to pass. And Yamashita, right, now she is very, very good. 82 hardcore, good charisma and microphone, very, very good worker. She's a little banged up. Yeah, her head's not great. Neither her arms or her legs. But she's a deathmatch specialist, and she's a face. And we're really struggling for faces. The only thing with her, how much is she going to cost us? I think if we want to get her in, though, I think that has to be done now, if I'm honest. I think we've got to get her in now because she's not getting any younger. She's a good worker. We're going to probably have to pay her travel. But we can probably find something to do with her. She's a great worker. So I think we're going to bring her in. Yeah, declining physical ability. We'll see what she can do. Roman Reigns is on this list. How much is he going to cost? Nia Jax thinks that's an excellent idea. I would love to get Roman Reigns in. I think it would be great, but he is just so far ahead of where we are with popularity. It's very much a Jimmy Uso situation. If we ever did anything with him, we'd never get... No, if we give him the title, we'd never get it off him. But he is a big match specialist. I don't think any of them are actually going to reply to our company, unfortunately. But, you know, if we're going to do some sort of Viking bloodline thing, he would be someone to bring in. Shazza McKenzie I've left on the shortlist. Now, the reason I left her on the shortlist is because she's a deathmatch wrestler. And Astrid currently has the title, the Supreme Heavyweight title, whatever you want to call it. But at some point she's going to drop that. And I think Shazza McKenzie could very well come in and want some revenge. So I'm going to bring her back. And she can just sort of go on a little bit of a slow push. No mad rush. But eventually we'll have her try and get some revenge on Astrid. I think I like that idea. Sonya Deville was on there, but I think we're going to get rid of her. She's not really got much hardcore. Steph DeLander as well. She's unemployed. She's decent, but I don't really think with a hardcore skill of 36. I mean, it is improving. But I don't think I've got a place for her right now, but we'll keep an eye on her. Toa Leona could come back in with Juicy for now we spoke about, and Trinity as well. And I think thinking about it, she's probably not someone to bring in either with a 35 hardcore skill. Not really showing any signs of improvement at this point. Decently popular, but I think we'll pass on her for now. So that's the shortlist. And who've we brought in here? So we've got Orin Vate, KTB are renewing. So we've got Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane. Hanson and Raymond Rowe. So they're two face tag teams. Josh Briggs is coming on the tour. So is Luchasaurus. Medio Extremo is going to be an exclusive written. We could probably do with another heel tag team. Let me just go back to these teams. I mean, there's no reason we can't do some experimentation and try and find some teams. Alright, so we've been talking about things for quite some time there. There is another exclusive contract I want to give out. And I don't think anyone will be surprised to know that I am going to... Oop, I need to remove all this stuff, don't I? Right. I don't think anyone will be surprised to know that I am going to offer MV Young an exclusive contract. At the minute, no, he's not on anyone's radar at the minute at all. So he only works for us. He's got great charisma, great microphone, great acting, good in the ring. Not the best in the ring, but he's good in the ring. Consistently our best performer by a country mile. And I think I want to tie him down to a long-term contract, to be honest, before anyone else snaps him up. Should we go for 2 years? Maybe see if we can get this down to 6,000. He'd probably want more than that, I would assume. Let's maybe give him 30% merchandise. You want a bit more? 7,000? 8,000? 10,300. Will you go to 9,500? What about if I gave you 35% merchandise? No, you want 10,000. Let's try 10,000. Alright, 10,300 for a 3-year contract. Don't want to give you a bonus. Available for all shows. Would you do that? Why has that just jumped up by 10? 100? Alright. Let's see if we can get MV Young in on a permanent contract. I don't think there's anyone else at this point I want to give an exclusive contract to. We also just have to be a little bit mindful of the money situation. So we're making about 14k a month. With Mr. Young and Mr. whatever his name was, Extremo, I can't quite remember his name, the Mexican guy we've picked up, the hardcore guy. That's going to basically wipe out all our profits. So I think for now we'll pause that. But I do think them two are the future of the company. And we've got to be very careful as well doing exclusive contracts, because we've got to try and... We haven't quite got the financial muscle to outbid people. I mean, Astrid only works for us, but I'm not sure she is worthy of an exclusive contract, if I'm honest. At least not yet. Not while we've got the indisposable money. Colby Carino, we're never going to outbid NWA and DPW. So we don't want to start anything there. Is there anyone else potentially who we could look at on an exclusive contract? I don't think there's anyone particularly standing out, if I'm completely honest. I think we're okay. Like, if anyone else left, I wouldn't be too distraught about it. But MV Young, kind of everything revolves around MV Young in our company. And Astrid as well. Maybe we'll pick up Astrid on an exclusive contract later, but for now, we haven't got the financial muscle for it. Is there anything else we want to look at? I know this video's going on for quite some time, but I do like putting these videos in. Let's just see. Are there any other steals anywhere? So let's look above. Let's go for 70 hardcore. Active wrestler. Doesn't matter whether male or female, doesn't really matter. We do intergender wrestling. Is there anything else? This is probably going to bring up quite a lot of people, isn't it? Atticus Cougar. Yeah. He's in a tag team with Otis Cougar. Is he in this list? He's not in this list. He's a maybe. I like this hardcore, but I'm just not sure about the mercenary. Cyclops. I mean, he just looks a bit weird, doesn't he, to be honest. Just looks a little bit weird. Crazy King. Well, he's a bit of a steal, but he's a mercenary. Let's maybe change this to not negative. This game froze? Yeah. Yeah, right. So Dale Patricks. He's okay. Bit quiet. Have we got any deathmatch specialists? Let's just have a look. So he's 47. He's probably a bit too old. Plus he's the owner and booker of somewhere else. John Wayne Murdoch. If I'm not mistaken, well, he's out injured. He actually comes back in a few days, but the history of it's a physical wreck. He's one half of the rejects alongside Reed Bentley. That is good to know. Let's add him to the shortlist. We'll keep an eye on him. He's a bit old at 54, if I'm honest. Takesh... What? Masashi Takeda. He's out with a shattered knee. He's back in 29 days. No, that's when his contract expires. He's out for a long time. Right, let's pass on him. Tanaka, he's a bit old. Matt Tremont, he's 40. He's a bit banged up. But he's got 80 hardcore. He could do quite well in our company. Natural trainer as well. He's can he road agent? Not really. Good on the mic though. He can go on the short list. There's Medio Extremo. He's the one I'm picking up. So let's take him off the short list. Necro Butcher, PCO, they're a bit old. Yamashita we're bringing in. Sasaki, he's a little old. 38-year-old could work. Toru Sigura. Yeah, 86 hardcore. I mean, he's very good, isn't he? He's very, very good. Would need a bit of a push. We wouldn't ever get him on an exclusive contract because he's loyal to someone else. Violento Jack, Mexican worker. Again, he's very, very good as well, isn't he? Okay, interesting. I'm going to add him to the shortlist. And I'm going to add him to the shortlist. 47-year-old. Probably a bit past it, to be honest. And Wotan? Yeah, he won't talk to us anyway. 51-year-old. Good hardcore, but he's probably a bit old. Let's have a look for deathmatch wrestlers. Probably going to get some of the same people, I would have thought. And what I'm looking at doing here, really, is I'm looking at bringing in people who can get good scores. Sure, popularity is 70% of our product, but that other 30%... Jimmy Lloyd. Maybe let's do an age on here, max age of 40. Let's go with that. Just filter out some of the not the drosses, that's probably not fair, but yeah, so Dale Patrick's occurs again here. There's nothing particularly wrong with him. Jimmy Lloyd. He's on the younger side, but he's loyal to Game Changer Wrestling. Bit flabby, bit banged up. We'll probably pass on him. John Wayne. Ludark Shatian. 73 hardcore. Got a nice mask. Pretty good in the ring. Certainly an option. Lot of upside. Well, 36. Not huge amounts of upside, but that could be a thing. He's pretty good, isn't he? Bit banged up, though. He's currently a JCW. I'm not quite sure what that means. Is he a face? Yeah, he's a face. Unmarketable, which is a bit of a shame. I think he's an option. Matrimont, Medio Extremo, Yamashita, Stevie Boy, Scottish wrestler. 37. Doesn't work in the UK, but he's very good. He would be a bit of a steal, I think, looking at him. What is he, a heel? Yeah, he's a heel. I'm sort of looking for faces, really. Troublesome knee, but a tag team specialist nevertheless. Would you be interested in working in the USA? Not really interested, right, okay. Suzuki. She is very good. She is very, very good. Can play a face, is a prodigy as well. Quite popular. Quite pricey too. Well, I think she's definitely on the shortlist. Let's have a look at you. You're out with a fracture. Are you back soon? You're pretty good, to be fair, as well. Good psychology. Yeah, you're pretty good as well. There's lots of good people in here, but it's just trying to somehow fit them all in. I mean, he's excellent with 86 hardcore. Good here as well. We've got some absolute quality workers here. It's only 5'1". 81 hardcore though. Does work in the USA. Violento Jack we've seen. Yusaku Ito. Yeah, I mean, they're all just really good workers. Really, really good workers, aren't they? He's hardcore and technical. That's an interesting one. He's a true-born, so he definitely wouldn't do an exclusive contract. There's a lot of good people here, but I think we're bringing in quite a lot of people here. What are we bringing in? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And sure, not all of them are new. Who is really piquing my interest? She is. Really, really quality worker. Absolute quality worker, but she's quite pricey. He as well is very good with that 86 hardcore, Mr. Sigura. Very, very good worker. I think he could do very, very well. Especially as a face as well. I think the other one was Violento Jack, but he's more of a heel. But could he team up with the new guy I've bought in? I mean, I think I've seen Aero Boy somewhere before as well. Charlie Evans is another one who I'm thinking could be worth a pickup. Deathmatch specialist, easy to do business with. Tag team specialist as well. I think I'm going to leave it for now. I've spent a long time looking at wrestlers and stuff there, and we spent a lot of time with not actually doing anything. So, I mean, we've been rolling here for an hour of just me sort of like waffling and picking up some workers. So I think we'll leave it there. I think we'll leave it there for now. But I'll have a look. I'll have a bit of a think off camera for these guys. I might. Yeah, I think I'm going to do Friday Night Frenzy 43 tonight. We won't get any of the new signings in for it, but I might just do it just so we've got something to see in the episode other than just picking up workers and waffling. So let me go and book that, and we'll finish up with that, and then we'll call it a day for this video. I think it's quite a long one. So yeah, thanks for hanging in there. I'll book a show and we'll be back in a bit. One thing I forgot to talk about as well was Mark Briscoe. Now, Mark Briscoe is out of a job, and he's a very, very good wrestler. Absolutely fantastic wrestler. But he's got a bully personality. I didn't like it. But we could potentially give him a try, because he does suit our product down to a T. He's tag team specialist, weapon specialist, ladder specialist, good hardcore, good fundamentals, good performance skills. He's got the lot. And if he wasn't a bully, I'd be picking him up straight away. Straight away be picking him up. Now I'm going to try it. I'm going to give him a touring contract. I know I said I wasn't going to do much more of this, but I'm going to try him on a touring contract. And if he doesn't cause too much trouble, we might keep him around. But yeah, what made me trigger is he asked to be turned up on this show. Like, you know, if he could hang around backstage, and he's not caused any problems. So we'll give him a try. See how he goes. Let me just book this actual show in, and then I'll come back and just carry on in a minute. Alright, so I've booked everything in and we're just about in time to do this show. So let's finish the show with an actual match. So let's just see how we do. Right, so we've done the first match is Tatum Paxley and Kenzie Page versus Kennedy Copeland and Shotzi Blackheart. Now, Tatum Paxley and Kenzie Page don't work well as a team, so that's what this was all about, experimenting their chemistry. So, test failed, but experiment complete. So, Kenzie Page and Tatum Paxley can't be a thing. Shotzi Blackheart and Kennedy Copeland could be, though. 47 rating match overall, that's not too bad at all. And next we've got Tim Donst versus Alex Colon, with Alex Colon getting the win. Just trying to build his momentum up a little bit. Again, I'm not sure what to do with Tim Donst, so yeah, we're just getting them on the card, getting them working. And we've got Sandra Moon and Heather Reckless taking on Brian Idle and John Schuyler. And those two are out of the building, Brian Idle and John Schuyler. In terms of performances, Sandra Moon did well here. Heather Reckless picked up the win over John Schuyler, so trying to just give her a little bit more popularity, but not a great match. No chemistry, so no real information found out there. Janai Kai returns back to winning ways, picking up the win against Minnie White, and that's just a wild brawl match, just keeping Janai Kai ticking over. And in the next match, we've got Nia Jax and Satoko Yoshida defeating Gore and Pound when Nia Jax pinned Rhino with a standing leg drop. And this is just about testing chemistry on Yoshida and Jax. And they don't have any bad chemistry, which is good. So we could potentially pop them in a tag team together. Good to know. And we have got the main event where Blood Axe basically just kicks the shit out of Pat Buck. And he got a 54. So I just wanted to see how he did in ring. Astrid is okay as a manager for him as well. So 46 overall. Decent show. And we actually took this to somewhere else. Whether I think it's in the Mid-Atlantic, I think. 126 people turned up. So we didn't really get a lot of people viewing. But I think it's now important to try and get some of these other areas ticking over. Yeah, we lost £7,000 there. That's not very good, is it? So yeah, we're building up the Mid-Atlantic. So I think to get to medium, we need to get this up to 35. So we'll see how financially viable that is in a minute, if I'm completely honest. But we'll see. So Zona 23 have made a contract offer to Medio Extremo. Their offer is an ongoing exclusive handshake deal. That's not being considered. So can we look at his view rival offers? So that's not being seriously considered. So ours is being seriously considered. Yeah. So we should have that in the bag, I think. Kenzie Page thinks that Heather Reckless is charismatic. You can see her doing well in the future. Yeah, she could do, but whether she will do that with us, I don't know yet. And there we go, everybody. Medio Extremo has joined us on an exclusive written contract for £4,400 per month. We're going to use him. We're going to push him. He's going to be very, very good for us. So let's bring him in as a heel. I didn't read that thing what I was. Shazza McKenzie's joined us. She can come in as a face. Mark Briscoe. What does Mark Briscoe do? I think we bring him in as a face. Yeah, bring him in as a face. He's on a touring contract. Still a few other people to wait on yet, so we'll just wait for them. We'll wrap up the video. And there we have it as well. MV Young has signed to an exclusive written contract with us. So expect to see him feature very much going forward. And Alpha Wolf has decided to come and join the team. And he has a good gimmick, if I remember rightly. Raymond Rowe, you're going to come in as a face. And Yamashita has decided to join. So we're just waiting on contract confirmations from Orin Vate and Hanson, but I won't keep stalling the end of the video. They're pretty much going to come in. So that is fine. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed seeing the sort of my brain going off on different tangents and stuff. I'm going to take a look at the Young Lions, but I'm going to do that off camera, and if I find anything interesting, I will let you know. Our roster's got 40 people on now, so we'll have 41 when we get up to Hanson. So we might put in a few more shows into the touring schedule. I mean, in terms of finances, we got hammered on that last show, absolutely hammered. So we need to see how this month goes, and then we may have to tweak things with the production values. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. We got lots of people due to debut soon, so stay tuned. And yeah, again, thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you like the video. Leave a comment if you'd like to have an input into the series of any way. Subscribe, share with your friends, all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.